everyone. Welcome to the Lost Caravan for a special one-shot edition of Goblin Errands, a TTRPG, a fun little rules-light, chaos-heavy TTRPG from Shark Bomb Games. I am one of your GMs, or tall people, as we call them in Goblin Errands. Doc Grimbo. That is my name. I use he, she, they pronouns. And also, next to me on air here is your other GM, the reasons for which will be explained in a minute. Our friend Coyote Witch, Nikki. Nikki, you want to introduce yourself?
Nikki.
You're
Coyote
on,
Witch.
Nikki.
I am she, her, and I'm super excited for this game that
Yes.
Doc and I have been talking about doing for a really, really long time, and we're finally doing it, and I'm so excited. It's gonna be great.
It is going to be a lot of fun. And we also have our children here. If this doesn't make sense to you, there's no guarantees that it will eventually, but we're going to go around and meet them all. So we'll start with the child who is next to you, our friend Alice. Hi, Alice.
Hi.
Do you want to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I am Alice, they, them pronouns. Today I am playing Teeny Sneena, who is the Dibbler.
Mm-hmm.
Uses she, her pronouns.
Excellent. That's good to know. All right. Thank you so much. Let's go directly below you to Flamin. Flamin, are you down there?
I am here. I am Brent. I go by Flamenzine in most social circles, and today I am playing a Deagle, because where'd he go? I'm a rascal.
Digo.
A rascal.
Digo. He's the mischief maker of the family. None of the rest of us are. The rest of us are
Problem
completely
child.
normal, half goblin, half shoony people. But next to you is our friend Outknocked, who is playing tall.
Couldn't tell.
Yeah, this guy's
Yeah.
tall. I'm
Yes.
tall. I love tall.
Thank you. And rounding out the crew in the bottom left, right below me here on screen is Lonnie. Hi, Lonnie. Tell us about Snicker.
I am playing the ratter called Snicker, and I have a fun little pet ferret that I like to call Eehee.
So if this is again confusing at all, well, it's really simple. We'll explain it in a moment, but basically, we are the Sneena family. We are a mixed family of goblins and shoonies, which are dog people in Pathfinder lore, that somehow reproduce through love and magic, and
Love. Just
started
love
a new life
magic.
together. So before we go any further, Nikki, would you mind telling us about Goblin Errands as like a system? Anything that people who are watching need to know about it, or how it works, or it just a guess at how it will happen?
So if there's, I mean, it's a really rules-light game. There's like no prep to this game.
Right.
There are different playbooks that everybody chose. Basically, what's going to happen is that we are going to do errands. We will roll to find out what those errands are live on stream, because that's how we roll, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It is a, what is it, a D6?
Yes.
D6 game, so it's super simple dice rolls. There's a lot of chaos, and it's wholesome and funny, and I highly recommend anybody go check it out. You can find it on Itch.io, or however you pronounce it. Super worth buying. It's a lot of fun and really easy to understand, so you can just pick up and go.
And because we were so Nikki and I, our Pathfinder characters Snock and Mina, are the
Yep.
parents of this family. We're going to co-GM it, so we'll take turns describing scenarios and things like that.
Yep.
Also, all of our players have a special mechanic that we've added for this game, which is basically works like a summoning spell from the Final Fantasy series, or any other JRPG. Whenever they need to summon one of their parents, they get one use to summon either Snock or Mina, or if they want added chaos, two of them can happen at the same time. And
Both.
summon them both for different advice.
Yeah, no, see how helpful that is.
Right, exactly. So before we go any further, I think that we need to hear how Snock and Mina came to be, and where they are now, and what our world is like. So, Nikki, I leave that in your hands.
So
Or pause.
Paw hands. She's got
Paw hands.
thumbs.
Sure.
So if you've been following Lost Caravan Pathfinder games, anytime Doc and I have been in a game together, we have played the characters Snock the Goblin and Mina the Shuni Druid. Snock is a barbarian.
Just no magic.
I love it's a little magic. A little
Some magic.
magic is love. Um, and basically in the very first game, they went from being not so much enemies, but to really good friends. Um, Mina is friends with everybody. Snock was a little rough around the edges, but they became extremely good friends by the end of the game. And we decided that the two of them, with their low intellect, would go off and have their own adventures after the game. And the next game they played together, some things happened between games.
Unexplained things.
Unexplained things, and suddenly they showed up married. Um, they don't quite understand what the word married means, but they kept running into people who told them they acted like an old married couple. And so they decided, well, I guess we're supposed to get married. So they got married. And they, anytime they see married couples, they try to like mime what they're doing. And somehow that ended up with them having children. We're not sure how that happened or what they were attempting to model.
And we don't
here.
want to think about
We
it.
don't want to think about it. But
Children.
it started off as a joke that Doc and I wanted to have a game where Snock and Mina had children, and we finally managed to make it happen. And I am very excited for the chaos that is going to come from these two very chaotic, not so smart, tiny creatures.
Mhm.
So Mina is definitely friends with everybody. Super lovable, very happy all the time. Snock is lovable in his own way. Um,
He's an acquired taste.
he is the most popular goblin.
He's the most popular.
He's
Well,
he's
speaking of that,
love.
tell us about
Yes.
the world that we in our session 0 came up with, and the surrounding atmosphere of where we are today.
One of the fun things about Goblin Errands is that when you're doing like the session 0, you roll to find out different things. So we had everybody roll for what the world was going to be like. There are a bunch of things in the playbook where it tells you gives you lists and stuff. So we had everybody roll, and this is what we came up with as a team. We actually live we have settled down as the Sninas in a offshoot of an orc frontier encampment. Basically, we saw giant green people and we're like, well, Snack's green. Mina likes green. So they must be friendly. And we've decided that this is a perfect place to create a little village of Shunies and goblins, and we're just inviting like family members and anybody can really join, but mostly it's for Shunies and goblins. The orcs uh, are pacifists. They are known as the Flower Picker clan. They're very nice. They're a little confused by these tiny little dogs and goblins running around everywhere, but they're okay with us. They're like, all right. They actually are able to. The Shunies are basically funding the economy right now for the orc settlement because suddenly there's a high need for step ladders and step stools because we are so tiny, and since we are living off a shoot of the orc settlement, everything is tall. So we are currently trying to renovate to short status. The orcs are very nice. They're botanists. So we've moved in here,
Mhm.
and it's fine. Our little goblin Shuni
Ken, or
world.
Ken.
Ken, yes, Ken.
Yeah.
The community is called a Ken. Is led by one of the goblins named Muckus the Shard Runner, um, for various reasons. And Sock is the most popular goblin. I don't know if that's in his head or his children or if he really is. But the other most popular goblin is Genzo the Mushroom Maven because the big thing that is like our primary food source, and that we all eat button mushrooms. It's like goblins and Shunies have
It's a staple.
discovered that it's the staple food. Though we all also really love buttered popcorn. And that's kind of harder to come by. Basically, we steal that from the orcs when they're not looking.
Hmm.
But yeah.
And yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say our Ken is named the fun guys because of that. Because we are super fun guys.
And so
That's
I
it
think
that I
I think
had.
that's good. I think that's enough. I think that's
Yeah.
enough setting. But I think that what we see here is that in their humble no bedroom apartment within this small enclave part of the orc settlement, we see Mina Snina, the mother, telling the story for maybe the 100th time of how she and their father met each other and went on adventures, and why they're starting this Ken here in the orc settlement to make a place for Shunies and goblins and other people maybe, but mostly for Shunies and goblins. And so all of our children are seated around. Let's go around one more time. I'd love to hear a physical description of your goblin or shublin, as we call them,
Goblins.
as your shublins, and any sort of particular unique traits that they have in physical appearance. You can also tell me what class they are if you haven't already. We'll do the same order. So, Alice, tell us about Teeny.
Teeny mostly takes after her mom. She's caps out at her dad's height, mostly because of the fur, but she's
About 3
this like,
feet.
yeah, again with the fur, but she's like this little like puffball of a creature, and she's just like mostly white. Sometimes she gets into other things that cause her different colors. They live with flowers, so sometimes she gets some weird colors. Um, but she is short, fluffy, and she's got one of those like really thick, like dog-like tails that just kind of like whip back and forth when she gets really excited. She has ruined multiple things in the house and probably caused at least a few injuries between her siblings.
So as she's sitting there, is her tail going, listening to her mom tell this story?
Oh yeah,
Or
it's
okay.
she's just kind of like propped up on her hands, and in the background you just like see her tail whip back and forth. And there's probably like a space around her that everyone has cleared out.
Well, let's see. I think that we'll go out of order here. And Lonnie, is Snicker next to Teeny? And this, because Snicker came out with the tail too.
I do think that Snicker has learned to be unafraid of the tail because she's probably hit herself with her own tail at this point. If anything, if you're okay with it, obviously, Alice, we could just have our tails every once in a while just like hit, like we're almost kind of
Hmm.
like not meaning to, but like, sometimes all of a sudden we're just like, okay, no, like get out of my space.
Yeah, sometimes they sync up. Sometimes it's like when siblings hit each other and push each other away just for fun, except it's with a tail.
Actually,
What, Lonnie? What else do we see about Snicker that's notable in terms of appearance when we
well,
see her for the first time?
so one thing that's different about Snicker is that she has a goblin head. So she has the very typical, big
Football
ears,
green.
football
Yeah.
head. Um, and she is a little bit taller. She's a little bit taller, so I think we agreed on like 3'8" or so. So like,
Sounds about right.
you know, I have a little bit of height. Not much, but I probably I don't know. But I also do have a ferret that is probably like every once in a while she'll just get distracted and just start like petting the ferret that's on her shoulder. Or I feel like she's probably really fidgety too, so like while she's listening, like she's probably attentive, but also like every once in a while will like find like something on the ground to like feed her ferret, and like is hearing everything doesn't mean she's absorbing everything and making like constant eye contact. So um
It's
yeah,
not
so
unusual in this family, I think. Right. So there's a little tail fight going on. And speaking of Snicker being sort of mid-range in terms of goblin child height, next to them is Tall. So
Um,
Craig, do you want to tell us about Tall?
So Tall doesn't really have the best in terms of clothing. It's very raggedy. However, instead of like putting his money towards clothing, he went out and bought the very best construction paper he could find to construct this amazing hat that he wears because he is the high speaker. Um, Tall is not sure of his origins. He's not sure if he can actually come out of a goblin with his current height being what it is. So he's kind of developed this weird, strange, almost like a god complex where he believes he's like the goblin reincarnation of the tall man.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jublin.
He's got a lot
that's
of
why
he's
he
got a lot
became
of
Jublin.
existential questions because of how tall he is.
Oh yeah.
How tall
and
is
because
Tall
he's
again?
so tall, he doesn't have like a high pitched voice. It's actually like it's about here. Tall talk with this kind of voice as a goblin. And yeah, he's very charming, very persuasive.
And for reference, how tall is he?
5'6", very
Right.
tall.
And what other characteristics did you get from your parents? Because that's my
Oh,
favorite
yes.
that
part.
is right. So as you noticed, I
Mhm.
have a dog nose. I'm not 100% goblin. I'm also part dog. Roshuni.
Yep.
This one, I don't know why this one stands out to me as the most disturbing, but like the idea, and he doesn't have any fur. It's just like goblin skin with a dog face,
Yep.
and he's very tall, right? Like, it's a little
Yep.
messed up. Okay,
He
Uh,
is handsome. He is our handsome tall boy.
it's a strange kid.
Nope. Stop talking. He can hear you. It's fine.
Does Tall like listening to Mina's story? Is he having a good time there on the floor?
I think Tall would be just sitting down looking at a book. He doesn't know how to read, but he's looking at it.
Nice.
He
Um,
acts
e-
smart.
Excellent. And finally, where'd he go? Where'd he go?
I'm here.
Oh, so
I'm right
Digo
here.
is there. What does Digo look like?
So Digo is about the size of a normal Shublin, but he's got very, we would say, husky features, as in the dog.
Right.
He's furry. He's got a tail that wags a lot, but it's not a big tail that hurts things. It's just fuzzy, and he loves brushes. He's always, if he's sitting still, he's probably got a brush out. And right now he is enraptured by Mina's story, and he's just got he's cradling his tail in one hand and brushing it with the other.
Right.
Oh my god. And it's all green, right? You're green fur.
Yes, and the fur is
All that fur is green.
green
Yes,
husky.
I love it.
Green husky. Fantastic. Mina, how does this story end? Take us away and tell us what Mina wants to impart on the kids as we get ready to go.
And that, my children, is the story of how we became the Sninas and why you all are all here and what we are trying to do here. I am excited and I hope you're excited, and we're just going to spread all of the love that we can to all of our fellow goblin shoonies and hopefully more shublins at some point. Also, please be nice to the orcs and stop following them around for the buttered popcorn.
And at this point, I think Snock
No!
enters. Snock enters, and Snock he has slippers on his feet. He's wearing an apron underneath a cardigan, and he walks in like this, and he has a bubble pipe in his mouth, and he walks into there and says, "Listen to Mina, who is your mom, and also me, your dad, who is very smart and has lots of dad wisdom. All right, children? Okay?"
Yes, Dad.
Thank you, yes. And
Good job,
also
honey.
no magic.
Only a little magic. Only a little magic.
Right.
It's love. It's all love.
All right, a little magic. But it's important, day coming up is Flower Festival here for the orcs. And so this is a chance for our Ken and for the Snina family to
get the respect we deserve, and also to make friends and fit in and get popcorn, maybe, possibly as a part of this.
You should not hope for the popcorn, but maybe if you're very nice to them. Also, you should clean up, and I
Just-
kind of give a look over at uh, Lonnie or
Snicker.
Snicker.
Yes, and pick up no more fuzzy worm droppings all over the house.
I
Please
think
don't
she's
eat-
literally just looking between the two of you, like,
Okay, so we have to figure out what these errands are. And so what that entails is we are going to roll for them. We're going to randomize what it involves, and then we're going to break it down into a few tasks that need to be accomplished in order to prepare for this festival. So let us take out our PDFs, our book, and we are going to roll. I think is it 2 times on that table, and on the table is on page. Where is it?
37, and you roll
37.
two 20-sided dice for the following.
2
tables.
d20s, and so gosh, I think one per parent would be okay, right? So if
Yeah.
you want to roll one, I'll roll the other one, Nikki, and we'll roll them. I'll roll mine in roll 20. You can roll yours in person if you want.
Yeah, I've got my dice.
I rolled a 10. There we go.
I rolled a 4.
A 10 and a 4, good buddy. Over and out. So there is yes. So for the first one, a 10 and a 4 is a need. So we can either choose a need of music, which is 10, or a need of tools. What does everyone think? And kids, you're up for this discussion too. For this festival, what's more important for them, music or tools?
Father, they
Snacks.
cannot build the festival without the tools.
Okay, Tall.
this
Yes,
is
that's a
true.
good.
That is
Alright.
a good idea, Tal. Anybody else?
Strange kid.
No, stop it, Snock.
what are they gonna use on the flowers? Not a hammer, right?
No.
Maybe.
Never. No, Snock.
Maybe we need tools to pick the flowers sometimes. They got those really thick stalks.
Like gardening
true.
tools. Yes,
This
true.
is true.
We need
All
tools
right.
to build flower box.
So
Oh.
I think tools is coming out on top. So in order to get these tools, the Ken needs someone to ... So again, I'll roll one. Nikki, you roll one. I have 18, which is water house plants to get these tools. Or what's the other one?
Bring out the trash.
Bring out the trash.
So, where are we going to get these tools, children? Are we going to earn them by watering plants for people, or are we going to go through garbage? The answer seems to be obvious that we go through garbage, but I'm open to other suggestions.
Garbage.
Normally I would say that we should not go through other people's garbage. Because that seems impolite.
Right, because if we go water the houseplants instead, we can just steal the houseplants, and then we can bring them to the flower festival for extra things that they didn't even know they were gonna have at the flower festival.
Yeah, and if I go through the garbage, that means I have to get a bath.
Yes.
Eh.
Well, no.
I know, right?
No,
Maybe.
no. You do not have to get water. No. Dust baths are fine.
Yes, dust baths. Water is gross. It has germs.
It's
No
the-
watering the houseplants?
No, water
for
the house
plants,
plants.
it's okay.
Don't water yourself. I mean, you can. I won't judge. Baby, you do what you need to do.
But seedlings
Water
aren't
on
plants,
me. Is it
though.
okay?
Jubilins are not plants. As far as we know. We're in new
Would I
territory
get
here,
taller
girl.
if I watered myself?
Maybe.
Tall, have you been taking baths?
Father, I do not wish to discuss how I hygiene myself at this proper moment.
What hygiene?
I don't know. I'm really starting to think he's adopted.
He's not adopted. I know
Yes,
for
he is.
certain. No.
Dearest sister, I find that remark very inappropriate considering we are
Okay,
family.
no fighting. No fighting at family meetings.
I
Okay,
did.
here. We'll think about this, but first we have to decide where we're going to go to take care of this, okay?
So 14 is a prosperous inn, or
Wait, did we decide on the garbage?
no, we have decided, but we'll see
Okay, okay,
where we
okay.
go at.
An
Nikki?
overgrown park.
Oh my gosh, I mean, park might be a good one.
Wait, what was the first one?
The park has the flowers to water.
Park
And
does have
probably
flowers, but inn have garbage.
Inn has brushes.
Let's go. Everybody, we need to get tools.
Yes.
That's the primary. Everybody, look at
Mhm.
me. We're getting tools.
Mother, I think I have an idea. And then
What
I'll
is that,
raise
my darling
hand.
tall?
Mother, what if we ask the friendly flower-picking orcs if we water their plants for tools in exchange at said inn?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, that's
Yes, that
smart.
might be good. I think I know 2 people who are at the inn, and now I will roll to determine who they are.
Why does Dad
one
keep
of-
talking about rolling?
One of them is a simple fighter.
It's fine. It's
Seen him do
something
a
your
single
father does.
single somersault.
He's just a simple fighter.
One of them is a simple fighter.
And an
Um,
over-eager paladin.
Okay, children, listen to me and Mom, okay? We need to get tools. Now, I know that there are 2 people at the inn who have tools and will maybe give them to you in exchange for helping with watering plants and taking out garbage. Here are the tools we need, okay? Everyone ready? Everyone remember? We need pruning shears.
Yeah.
For trimming plants. We need a hammer for hit things,
Not the flowers.
not flowers. And
what's the third one?
a sword.
A sword?
Sword?
We have a paladin
Yeah.
and a fighter.
A what?
He said there
For
was
the
a
fighter.
paladin and a fighter.
we need a
So they
sword for
obviously have swords.
decoration, okay? We need a sword for the ken. It is not an actual sword for killing. I have plenty of those. This one is decorative sword to
Something
hang on
very
the wall.
pretty.
Yes, a pretty sword. Pretty sword, hammer, pruning shears. So start at the inn, and when you're done, bring those back. And if you need me or Mom, you call, okay? You just yell for Mom, and we come.
Mother,
So
could
just
you
to
pass
Do
me
you
recap-
a
come if
piece of
we yell,
charcoal?
Mom?
Yes, of course
Maybe.
I will. Your father will not come when you call Mom.
Do you come if we call Dad?
Only one way to find out. Try it.
Now?
Yes.
Dad!
I'm right here.
Okay.
It works.
It works.
Yay!
All right, kids, just to recap, we need
Mhm.
tools. You're going to do this by watering plants? Is that what I got there?
There are some people at the inn, I think, that may have leads on these tools that we need. There's a fighter there,
Okay.
and there's a paladin there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll have you water plants. I guess we'll see when we get there. Maybe they'll
Yep.
have you help with the garbage. I would imagine there's other people at the inn too. What is the name of the prosperous inn? That's what I want to know. The Orc Prosperous Inn.
The Orkin.
The Orkin?
My God,
The
I love
Orkin
it.
Man? The Orkin Man. It's orc apostrophe N man. It's a really like
But-
universal.
That's good. You could also call it the orchid.
That's
But
true. The
Orc
Orchid
N
Inn.
kind of makes sense though.
Well, I think that we'll decide once we get there, whichever one of your parents is describing the scene. Snock takes all of you and shoves you out the door, lovingly, and says,
Okay. You behave yourselves. Come back when you have the tools, alright? Inn is that way. It's called Orc something. I forget.
Oh, the Orkin.
The Orkin.
And closes the door behind you. And you're on your own.
Mina quick opens the door. Don't forget to drink water. It's very warm today. Okay, goodbye. I love you all. Shuts the door.
Slam. And you are on the streets. So I'll start. You are basically in the Ken. So everywhere, there's a lot of goblins here. Maybe the Shoonies have been slower to pick up on the inclusion. Less eager to join.
There are
But-
also just not as many.
There's
And
also
there's-
there are rarer
They're-
species.
Spread farther around.
But I'll say that just because this is an orc outpost, there's also humans around that have sort of like come on and joined in. So there could be any sort of type of people here. But I get the feeling like where we are, where our little hovel is much smaller, and then there's a clear break where like past the edges of the Ken, the buildings get bigger. Like the doors are medium person sized. And the four of you walk through, you see a bunch of other like goblins that you know, maybe a few Shoonies, and you get to the edge, and it's like that moment in Lord of the Rings where it's like the furthest you've ever been from home, and you know what I mean. And so you have to step out into the big person world. Who's the first one to do it?
I'll do it.
Okay, Tall steps forward. Anyone follow Tall, or do you just wait?
Is it safe out there?
I don't know. Everything's kind of big.
Everything seems to be very normally sized. It appears we should be in proper hospitality.
Different than my size and normal.
I'm peeking out from behind the nearest anything that I can.
There's a series of barrels that apparently are being used to store potatoes, and
Potatoes.
down an alleyway, and that's where Digo is hiding behind the barrels.
Is there a tree nearby?
Yeah, there is. There are a few trees here and there. It is kind of a frontier-y type of settlement, so it's not completely urban and stuff. It's more like settler type of city.
I am gonna kind of like anxiously peek out a little bit, but then decide to climb the tree.
Okay.
And kind of like peek out and get a good vantage point of what's going on, so I'm mentally prepared.
Oh, great. Okay, so here, let's do a roll to see how that goes. As not to climb, you can climb because you've got that wild, animalistic spirit inside of you. But to like look around, what is Snicker looking for?
I mean, kind of just sitting there trying, like, I guess making sure nothing looks dangerous. No one looks like they're kind of like looking at Tall weird now that Tall has stepped out onto the street.
Okay.
Also seeing what like path we could take to get to the inn.
Okay, roll me eyes. So what number do you have in eyes?
I have a 2 in eyes.
Okay. Do
I'm
you
used
have
to
any
relying on
feats?
my.
Do you have any feats that come into play here?
Let's see.
We'll say that you have your starting feat is your animal companion.
I do
So
have
you
an.
could use Ihi if you want in some way.
Mhm. That's actually why I put my eyes as a 2, because I was assuming that I'd probably rely on my animal friends a little too much.
Okay.
So yeah, I can use animal companion. That would cost a focus, but then I could. One of the options is to have him scout ahead and report back.
Sweet. All right. Why don't we do that combined with eyes? So roll me 3d6, and then if you want to pass that focus to somebody else, let me know. Seems like you're looking out for Tall here, so maybe Tall gets the focus next.
I was gonna say that because Tall was also the one that like went out first, so he'll probably we'll probably need it. Like here, giving
Yes.
you all the good Good thoughts.
Right.
I
So
rolled a
3d6.
4, a 5, and a 6, so 2
All
successes.
right. That is 2 successes. Yes. You climb up onto this tree, and the tree branch extends over the top of a building. It's a pretty tall tree, apparently, or maybe there's some sort of hill structure to the landscape. And your little ferret Ihi runs out and jumps onto this next building, and comes back a few moments later and chitters in your ear, and says, "There is long path. This is all in ferret.
Mhm.
Long path. Food and drink building." He says, "But there are 2 people in the road with like spears, who are standing and not moving."
Can I see any like that at all, or is that just
Sure.
like
I mean, with your combined
ran really
successes,
far ahead?
you could say that you look there and you do see 2 orcs that appear to be working as like guards or city watch guards or something like that, just standing in the middle of the street, watching people come and go.
People are walking past them and not being stopped.
Yes, but those people are orcs. I mean,
Mm.
you know.
I climb down to a lower branch and try to get as close to Tall as possible and say, "You need to come back. We need to sneak past people."
I turn around, matching your eye level. What do you mean?
The orcs don't look friendly here. Or maybe not to us. I don't know. They're letting orcs through, but I don't know if they're going to let us through. Seems like a problem.
You want to ask? Should we take a group consensus?
Okay. And then I climb back up the tree and back over into the area where everyone else is.
Okay.
At this point, seeing that nobody has attacked yet, but there's some strong thinking going on, Digo is standing next to Tall and holding on to like the seam of his pants, like a little kid at Disneyland does to their big brother, sister, or father.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to climb in the potato barrel.
Okay. Have Teeny roll me legs.
Which is a 1 because she's so small.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you want to roll in a potato. You want to climb in a potato barrel. We're gonna have a roll.
Yeah, it's a 4.
It's a 4. That's a mixed success. You get into the potato barrel, and then the potato barrel starts to tip over, and you are at the top of a hill right now. Those guards are at the bottom of that hill, and with Teeny inside the barrel, it starts to roll in that direction, and all of you watch as Teeny and a barrel full of potatoes goes down the road ahead of you towards those 2 guards, who haven't yet seen it.
Group conversation.
Distracted!
Oh no,
We
dearest
have to
sister.
go.
So you all chase after?
I'm
Yes.
having the time of my life. Shoving a potato in my mouth.
Just like spinning in a circle, eating a potato.
I like to believe
Fantastic.
that Ihi is literally like I'm trying to run so fast that Ihi is like laying off my shoulder in the back and like holding onto my hair.
Oh my god, I love that.
Excellent. With Ihi in the wind, you all chase after it, assuming anybody who wants to try and tell me what kind of thing you do to stop this, you can either roll legs to see if you can catch up to it, or whatever. But let's see. I think that Tall has the focus, so Tall, you get to tell me first. Your sister Snicker gave you the focus. So what does Tall do in this moment?
They're heading toward the barrel's heading towards the guards, right?
Yeah.
I guess I can just scream out, "You there! Stop that barrel, please!" in my tiny goblin voice.
Yes, tiny. Do you have any feat that would apply here, or do you want to roll mouth?
I would just want to roll mouth.
Okay. You start yelling.
So that's just a roll and then plus my mouth.
How many do you have in mouth?
5.
So roll 5d6.
Okay. 4, 5, so that's 9. A 1, That's 10. A 6, so that's 16. And then last one is a 3.
It's a dice
so that's-
pool.
Yeah, so
Oh,
we're
it's a
looking for
dice
fives
pool.
and sixes.
Okay,
So,
so I got a 1 5 and 1 6.
Excellent. So those are two very good successes there at the top of it. So basically, with those successes, the guards hear you, and there's like a brief moment where they see you and they think you're an orc and realize that you're not. But then they see the potato barrel, and they both just sort of like gently and easily step out of the way as Teeny goes past them and like runs into a wall, and the potato barrel falls apart, and there's potatoes everywhere. And they look down and say, "What are you doing? What happened here?"
I got trapped in a potato barrel and it fell and I was really scared and
Hmm.
then she's big old puffy dog eyes up at them.
So you have this is a heart roll, and heart everyone has infinite. So they look they look down at you and they say, "You are you okay, goblin thing? Are you a goblin? What are you?
My mommy says I'm special. We're unique.
Are you okay, unique?"
I think so.
Okay.
Thank
Here.
you.
You need to help pick up these potatoes. Tomorrow is the flower festival.
Of course. There's nothing worse than a spoiled potato.
You realize that it would take you a while to do this by yourself. You need your siblings to help you pick up these potatoes.
I'm really small. These are a lot of potatoes. Can
Yes.
my brothers and sisters help me, please?
Other uniques?
Yeah. And well, other uniques and one really weird one.
Oh, and they look around.
Hello.
Oh, I didn't see that one at first, and now I do.
I'm right here.
Okay,
That's
yes, they can
Hugo.
help.
You
Hello.
help.
Hello, children.
I think I like gained so much momentum trying to run after the barrel that I just run right past them and probably fall on a potato. Like like typical marbles on the floor in a movie. Like whoa.
Yeah, okay. And all of you are there with these potatoes. He says, "You need to help your sister."
I'm
with
the
the-
oldest, so you have to help me.
Oh, but you're so small.
Yeah. That's
Those
okay though.
errands that we got sent out to do.
What?
This is the new Aaron. We help pick up potatoes.
How many errands do we have?
I think we have 3 now.
At least more than one.
It's a lot of work.
It's 3.
Do we
What
get
do you-
to? Can we take a potato?
This feels like a roll, a convincing roll. Do you want to roll mouth here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want Ihi to already be grabbing for a potato as I'm
Okay, absolutely.
trying to. Okay. Okay. I see 1
Imagine
6. Oh,
Ihi
one fell off the
rolling
table.
the potato away.
Like a log roll.
Yeah.
I got 1 6, and then the rest are.
Is it
yeah.
what ferrets do when they like tuck it under their body and scooch back?
You can't. You
Um,
can't tell that it's underneath him. It's
This
fine.
guard who has a name tag on that says Barry, uh, Berry, he says, "We need most of these potatoes for the celebratory scalloped potato meal tomorrow."
I only need one. I'm pretty small.
Mm.
I can eat just one and be full.
We could all share a potato.
One potato.
Between the four of you,
We don't
Pico-
want
I think-
too many potatoes.
And
How
Pico's
many
already
potatoes are
started
we
eating
allowed to
them.
have?
She.
you can each have one. Where are you going, children?
Dearest guard, we are headed towards an orc inn. We were wondering if we could get directions as well, perhaps.
Sir, I'm talking to these goblin children.
How dare you not group me into my
Oh,
sisters and brothers?
sorry.
I just said we got a weird one.
Why are you going to the inn?
We're
It
gonna
is
help
part
water
of our-
flowers.
Oh,
We're
Helping
Why?
with the
garbage.
flower festival too.
oh,
So
for
it's
the
very
festival.
important that we help with everything we can,
Mhm.
including apparently picking up these potatoes.
I see. All right. Well, that's fine. And how about first of all, Tall, give that focus that you had to somebody. Who gets the focus from you?
I'll give it a Deagle.
Okay, Digo, roll me an eyes roll here.
Alright. So if I don't have any bonuses that give me an extra dice, it's just a.
Well, you roll as many numbers as you have in it. Do you have anything in there
Three,
in eyes?
3 in eyes.
Okay, so you roll
and
3d6.
I get a +1 dice for spotting shiny.
That's what you're doing. So roll me 4d6 then.
That is not good. A 4, 2 2s, and a 1.
Okay, with a 4, your highest is a 4, which is
Yep.
a mixed success. You see that Barry the guard, he has a hammer on his belt. He has like a big wooden mallet on there. But it has shiny parts on it, which makes it shiny. And he has it, but right there on the side is the complication. It is specifically in what do you call it for wood? Not engraving or embossing, but it's like a wood
Carpentry?
burned
Carved?
into it that says Barry's hammer right on the side.
Very protective of this
Emblazoned
hammer.
with Barry's hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it's shiny.
He has polished it very well. It glints.
Yeah, it's got
in the
it's got
sun.
this cap on it, on
It's like
brass.
slightly gold on top. It's got like gold filigree in it. Like
Mm-hmm.
so
And when you
beautiful.
look at it, it goes.
So I would like to spend the focus I have
Okay.
and use harebrained schemes.
All right. What is Harebrained Schemes?
I get to spend the focus and explain my plan. If it sounds plausible, I can roll +2 dice. Otherwise, it can still be attempted at normal difficulty, no matter how impossible.
All right.
That's a
yeah.
nice one.
What are you gonna try and do?
I'm going to get this hammer from him, and I'm going to do it by getting kind of like maneuvering myself in such a way that I am opposite this guard picking up potatoes of my siblings, and I'm going to really close at his how this thing is attached, and I'm just gonna like wave and point and make hammer motions to one of my siblings and hope that they figure out what's going on. And then I'm going to
Yes.
try and slide it out and maybe slice, if I have to, a little bit of whatever's holding it onto his bone. Just kind of sneakily
Okay.
take it away.
All right. So all the rest of you see Digo creeping around behind these two guards, and he's doing something with his hands. I feel like this is just a hands roll, both in terms of like your goblin sign language, your Shublin sign language, and like pickpocketing or whatever. So go ahead and make me a roll. Tell me how many d6 you're rolling with here.
All right. Did I explain it plausibly enough?
Yes, you certainly did.
I'm rolling with 6.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's go, you little nimble-fingered so-and-so.
Definitely see he takes after his father.
Mm-hmm.
My highest is a 5.
What's the highest you got?
My highest is a 5.
Okay, that's a success. So, because it's not a 6, we can add the flavor of, for a second, all of your siblings think that something's wrong with you. And maybe for a brief moment, they think that you want them to hit this guard with a hammer. We'll say this moment goes on comedically long, maybe like 4 or 5
Mhm.
seconds.
I think I
Of
like
blank
wave
stares.
back and then it's like doing like trying to reason
And then
through
I'm
it
like-
with the hand motions.
Mm-hmm.
Pointing at his hammer when I see you going like this.
And as you're doing that, Barry leans over and says, "Oh, that's a pretty good form you've got there. Are you getting ready for the hammer competition tomorrow, where all of our hammers are judged and the winner gets a ribbon? Yes, you snicker, because he sees you going like this.
Snicker's
And
so
he
good
bends
with the
over to
hammer.
talk to you. And when he bends over to talk to you about he's doing hammer talk with you. And when he does
It's hammer
that,
talk time.
the hammer like gets closer to Digo. Like it just sort of like sticks out conveniently. And Digo can like,
He is talking to the wrong Shublin, but I finally like see what's happening, and I'm like, oh yeah, I just got into hammering this year though, so I'm still kind of new. But thank you for saying that my form is good, because I'm working on it a lot. You see, except the thing is that right now I don't have my hammer with me, so it would probably look even better if I actually had my hammer. But I don't have
Oh.
my hammer right now.
oh, you
So
should see mine. And at that point, Digo has the hammer off of him and tucked away somewhere. And Barry stands up and he goes, "Oh, I thought I brought it with me today. I must have left it at home. That's strange."
we can together just without the hammer.
Yeah. He starts doing that, and he says, "Well,
Oh,
the
you're
Buell
gonna
kids."
beat me. I'm nervous.
Oh, no, hey, no, I'm not that great. The real person you gotta look out for is Philomena. She's this paladin down at the inn down there. And he points down to the tavern, and he says, the orc inn. Yeah, she's got
Well,
a big
since we're
hammer,
going
a
to the-
war hammer. She's really good.
I'm all of a sudden, my mind is reeling of like, how do we get that one?
Well, you kids, better get back to your flower watering. We have to stand here and look official. We aren't really doing anything important.
It's a relief.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you,
finished the
Mr.
potatoes.
Berry.
Yes, goodbye, all unique children. And you go down the street towards the inn. Nikki, do you want to describe what this inn looks like and welcome them inside?
It looks so cute. It does not look like it should be in this mishmashed orc settlement. It is this beautiful little white building with blue roof and blue shutters and a white picket fence with little like picnic tables outside for people to sit at. There are flower boxes that are just full of flowers. It is the cutest little thing ever. And you can see some of the orcs have like made these beautiful flower arrangements, and there are some that are sitting and they're drinking tea with their pinkies out. Like, it is a wonderful establishment. It is so cute. And it's got a big sign over the top that says the Orc Inn, and it's covered in flowers.
I hope those aren't the flowers we have to water.
A lot of them. And they're so high up.
Definitely above orc level.
That's really high.
It is.
We just start watering?
Oh no, did that tell us who we needed to speak to about it?
Swordman, Paladin Man.
You hear the
Is
voice of
Paladin
Snog in like an echo
Paladin-
chamber. You hear Snog's voice say,
Talk, there is a fighter with a sword and a paladin.
and then you look down the street, and hiding behind a corner are Snog and Mina watching to make sure that you're okay.
Her name is Philomena!
Philomena the paladin.
He
also.
has a
Just
giant
figure I was just piecing that
warhammer.
together in my head, don't worry.
Don't forget.
And then I
the
pretend that I don't see
shields.
you guys and I turn back around.
And they duck back
Wow.
away into the background.
The wind really sounds like Dad and Mom today.
Wish.
Okay. So I learned that Philomena has a really cool warhammer. So if you want, I can do the talking, because I know things about her that you guys probably wouldn't know offhand.
You're a sister. How did you
My
come by
God.
this knowledge?
Barry thought that I was also going to be in the hammer contest, so he was telling me things because he thought I was a really good hammerer.
Maybe you will be a really good hammerer.
You think? I was
think-
lying about having a year of
Sure.
experience. I hope he didn't see through that.
If he didn't see through it, maybe you really are destined to become a hammerer.
I think you are good hammerer.
Our
Thanks.
kids are so supportive of each other.
Wait, speaking of
So cute.
hammer, did you get the hammer? And I look at Tigo. God.
I have hammer. We
Wait,
probably
were you-
give it back eventually.
Was that what you were trying to ask us to do? Is steal the hammer? I thought you wanted us to like knock him out.
Yeah,
Oh.
remember when Barry said that he thought he brought his hammer, but he didn't bring his hammer? And
That's
I just point at
because-
Tigo.
That's because Digo had it.
I hope
He had
Mom
hammer.
isn't going
Now
to be
Digo
mad
had
at us
hammer.
for stealing.
Say how to get the hammer. Well, I guess she said we should do errands.
Oh,
But we're gonna
Aaron
do
was
those, and
get
we
hammer.
we did potato cleaning.
Mina's
And we
behind the
got potato.
barrel. Mina's behind the barrel glaring at Snock. This one
Snock
is
is-
your fault.
I'm so proud of him.
Maybe we not say where hammer come from unless Mom asks.
Yeah, there's no way they'll know otherwise. Kind of like
Alright,
that
you-
brief
you
little
wanna
like half
slide
look back
on
and was like, no.
No half lie. Just don't say.
Might ask.
We give it back. We no keep forever.
Okay,
I think
I mean, it's got his name on it, right? That's what that says, right? R-E?
Could I see it? I could probably try and read it. I mean, after all, I read books all the time. And I pick up the hammer. It just says hammer on it. And then I hand it back.
good. So
Mina
there's
tr-
no way to
Mina
know
tries
that it's
so
somebody
hard.
else's.
All right. So we got Phil money.
Philomena.
Amina.
Really good. I hope she's not mean.
I think
Thanks
if you look outside of this gorgeous little inn, you see that one of the tables is occupied by this gigantic orc woman with these gigantic muscles, with a giant warhammer propped up on the table next to her, and she's got the teeniest little teacup, and she's got her fingers out, and she's eating it, and the other hand is the tiniest little cake, and she's nibbling on it. It's very, very sweet.
She is so pretty. I bet that's her.
The hammer that none of you would know about if I didn't point it out right now. That's gotta be. You're right.
So we gotta go talk to her, right? Right? Right. And yeah, TD is gonna run up to her.
I kind of do like that little child like wobble run like over.
I'll just walk up to them too, but not weird like.
Your steps would meet up to ours anyway. So oh right, I said I was gonna do the talking. Or do you want me to do the talking? Should I do well, this is like right in
Miss
front of
Pretty-
her.
Miss Pretty Orc Lady, Miss Vita. Actually that's my mom's name. Miss Philomena.
Digo is just like dumbfounded and smitten with what he sees before him at this table. He's just kind of like still holding on to his brother's plate.
Have
Just
this hammer, but look at that hammer.
Nikki, do you want to be Philomena? Or do you
Sure.
want me to be Philomena?
I mean, that would be kind of funny. But I'm fine with it.
I think you're Philomena. You've got
Okay.
the Philomena energy.
The Phil- Yes, children.
Hi. My daddy said that we need to come here and help out for the Flyer Festival because they're really busy adults today, and we gotta help out with errands. I don't know if we're supposed to be helping with what? But Daddy said to come here and talk to Miss Pretty Paladin Lady or some guy.
I assume your father is Snock.
Yeah, he's the coolest, most popular, and the bestest, and obviously everyone knows him.
This is true. Everybody does know him.
Cut to Snock in the alleyway. Ah, fades back around the corner.
Well, I cannot confirm Snock is my father. I am told he is.
I also no, you know what? Not touching that. So what can I help you with? What do you need from me?
We're supposed to help out with errands and get some tools to help out with more stuff that our mom and dad are doing.
And they told you to come find me.
Yes, Pretty Paladin Lady, or unless it's the some guy we're supposed to be talking to.
No,
Well, she
no,
said to
no.
find you, or
Yes.
that you'd be. He said you'd be here, and you are.
Yes, I am here. Don't go talking to Edward. He's got a stick in a place I won't talk to you children about. I
Is it a
think
fancy stick?
yes, it is very fancy.
Maybe that's
Stick.
the pretty wet sword Daddy's
Oh,
Are you looking for a sword?
Daddy said that there's supposed to be a pretty sword that we're supposed to help display. And some other stuff. What was the other stuff, guys?
Diego speaks up. Daddy says we need pruning shears, and we need hammer to hit things, and we need a pretty sword.
And some
Oh.
snacks.
Snacks are good. Philomena looks down and at the hammer that Diego is holding, and notes that it says Barry's hammer on it, and just nods approvingly. Well, I will not say yes or no to Edward having a very, very beautiful sword. She winks at you all. As for pruning shears,
From the nod, Diego was blushing, but then at the wink, he's now amused.
is he okay?
He'll
I
be
think
fine.
you might want a sword more than a hammer.
Okay. I mean, hammers are pretty great. She pets the hammer next to her. Well, there are a lot of flowers around here. I bet if you help out doing some gardening work around here, you could find some shears.
I can do gardening.
Gardening's
I
pretty
am
great.
so good with the flowers.
I will tell you that behind this building there is a tool shed that may or may not have what you need in it. But you'll have to find a key, and I do believe the key is inside the inn with the innkeeper. So, I don't know how you want to get it, but I'm just saying. I'm just going to put that out there for you.
Thank you.
She starts sipping her tea again. But as she's sipping
tall
it,
is she?
she's staring over at Diego. And as soon as Diego looks at her, she gives him a wink again. Is there anything else you need from me?
I want to say something, but I want to wait until my siblings start walking away.
Yeah, I better go look at the door.
I do have one question more for
What's
you.
that?
I pull out this book. I hold it upside down, but I don't know that, and I put it up to my chest. Are you a Tullian? Have you heard of our Lord and Savior, the Tall Man?
I have not.
Interesting. I thought not. It is not a tale that most would tell you. However, the Tullian has descended.
You know what? I have to go. I'm actually late for something. And she grabs her couple of cakes and her hammer and is like, good luck!
Yeah, we think he's adopted.
Leaves.
Oh.
her up as a competitor in the hammering contest. And I just
You know, I
watch her
bet-
walk away.
She was really pretty and really nice. I bet if you asked her to, she'd help you with hammer. Maybe she takes students.
She's really big, though. I don't think she'd have the same technique that I would have. I think we'd have different classes of hammering skills.
As she walks away, you look down at the picnic table, and there's a flyer that says Philomena School of Hammering, with little dates and stuff on it for where you can go.
And then after I say that and act all like bristly and like, I kind of just do like the side swipe of just, might as well have it.
Grab it. Add it to your equipment sheet.
Yes.
No, just kidding.
Our
You don't
next
have an
game.
equipment sheet.
How does it say to
So-
contact her? Out of curiosity.
It says outside of the Orc Inn, Monday through Friday, from noon to 3. Unless bothered by children.
Oh no!
Yes.
You interrupted
But
her
today is
class,
Aaron's day. I don't come
So
out here that often.
you enter this tavern, the
I'm
Orc Inn.
actually gonna go
Oh, where'd
to
you
the
go?
garden and check the door.
Ooh, okay, never mind. So you go to the garden, and yes, behind this tavern there is this beautiful garden filled with flowers. You think it would take a long time to water all of them, and you probably don't have that much time. You would have to think of a different way to like get them all watered at once, you know. And then toward the back, there is like a shed with a big padlock on the door and a big floating exclamation point above it, as if it were something you need to do. And
But I want to use my think speak though. I have
Okay, what is
focus,
that?
Right?
yeah, you do have
Spin-
focus.
Spin the focus to talk to the spirit in an object, mushroom, or plant. It will either perform a service in its nature, such as doors open or close, flowers wither or bloom, or ask 2 questions.
All right, you think you can do that with any of the flowers here. You could try and talk to the door, but also you think you can talk to the floating, glowing exclamation point.
I was just gonna ask the lock to unlock.
Okay.
Works too.
So you walk up to the lock. What does she say before we make this roll? What does she do?
She'll kind of like jump up to like pat it and kind of like get its attention a little bit. Hi, so
Oh!
not-
Says the lock. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very
I'm
easily
sorry.
startled.
Yeah, it's something mommy taught me to do. I can talk to things sometimes, and I'm so
Right.
sorry for scaring you. Mommy says not to
Nobody
use
ever
a lot of
talks to
magic.
me.
It scares
What's your
me.
name?
Hi, I'm Teeny Snina.
Hello, Teeny. It's nice to meet you. I'm Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Yes, it's nice to meet you too. I'm a sentient lock. I live here on this tool shed. So, what brings you into town today?
We have to help with errands for a flower festival, and Mommy and Daddy said that we have to do errands to help them
I
out.
like your fur
and-
very much. That's very nice.
Thank you. She just kind of like twists around.
I've been so lonely.
I mean,
Nobody
I think
talks to a padlock.
That's sad. I'm sorry. I think my sister's gonna
Sorry,
start taking
Alice.
hammering lessons, and if she starts to take hammering lessons, I don't mind coming and talking to you.
Yes.
It's
Right.
it's sad being lonely. I know everyone kind of overlooks me sometimes just because I'm so short, and they forget that I'm there. And I am so sorry you're so lonely, Miss
Yes,
Rachel. And
I'm short
but
also, very small.
that's okay. Mommy said that there's nothing bad with that, and Daddy says that I'm just the same size as him, and he is such
yes.
the coolest
hmm
goblin around, and so powerful. It's
Wait,
so
is your
cool.
dad Snock?
Yeah.
Yes,
See,
I know him.
everyone knows my
I've heard
daddy.
things.
But Mommy and Daddy said that we had to come help errands, and errands included picking up potatoes apparently, and then we
Yes,
gotta
yes.
water some
All right.
flowers and get a stick that some guy has somewhere.
All right.
And Miss Pretty Lady Orc Paladin said that there might be some tools in the shed back
Ooh.
here, and I think she was trying to say that we need to take a key, which seems really mean. So I
Mhm.
figured I would just come and talk to you and ask because Mommy says the best thing to do is always talk to people, and everyone's friends with Mommy. And so
Mhm.
I figured I might as well just come ask if you wouldn't mind unlocking, so we could get the tools that we need to make the flowers pretty.
You're so,
Mina,
a very charming young lady.
Mina's
Thank you.
hiding on the other side of the shed, just going, I'm
She's
so
in the back.
proud. Yeah.
Hmm. All right. So, what is the name of your trade here? What's this called?
It's called Things Speak.
Things speak. Fantastic. All right. And let me see. So you do a roll, right?
No, it just says spin the focus to talk to the spirit. And an object must remove
Fantastic.
plant. It will either perform a service in its nature or answer questions.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So, yes, for things speak, you spend a focus to talk to an object, and it will either perform a service or answer two questions. All right, it says. And so, what did you want from me? Did you want me to unlock? Is that?
If you wouldn't mind, that would be really cool. Just so we can get the
Yes.
tools out of here that we need. And then, like, after we finish the errands, I don't mind coming back and visiting you.
Oh, that should be lovely. Oh, yes, I don't get many visitors. Well, there's plenty of people back at the garden, but they don't spend time talking to Rachel. Not to
I'm
me.
sorry, Rachel. That's sad.
Oh,
It's
you
okay,
know
I'll
what?
be your
That's all
friend, though.
right. You're so friendly, and you've really gotten me to open up. And then she unlocks, and then I made a bit of a joke. I don't know if you noticed.
Yes,
Um,
it was very funny, and like her tail is just kind of probably pushing some flowers to the side.
Yes. Yes. Be careful. Be careful of the. Be careful of the of those. Like the,
Yeah. I'm sorry. When I'm happy, it does that.
Oh, yes. All right. Very good. And you can easily like take her off. And I think we see like the door like swings around toward the back of the shed, and Rachel the lock sees Mina and says, "Oh, she's delightful, isn't she, Mina? It's just everything you said."
So wonderful. Thank you.
Inside are a bunch of gardening tools. There's hoes, there's spades, there's rakes, there's the tilling thing with the claws. There and right in the center is a pair of pruning shears, which just look like big curvy scissors.
They probably look like really, really big scissors.
Yeah,
Teeny
they
kind
they
of
look
like-
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does Teeny have in hands?
2.
I'd like a hands roll to see how she does carrying these pruning shears, because they're like the long extendable kind, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Those are heavy even for a human to pick
What'd
up.
she roll?
So what did a 3? But let
Okay.
me see if I have a feat. No, I already spent the focus. Never mind.
So she takes them out and starts stumbling back and forth, and probably falls into one of the flower beds with a big clump.
She
Like
pops
that.
up and like half her fur is yellow from the pollen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Here you go. Stickers. Tall.
Yes.
These are really heavy, but I got them.
There's some pruning shears. If you work together, you can carry them around with you. They'd be hard to like hide that you took them from the shed here if you care to do that. But I think with Digo and Digo's help, you can sort of like count those as having been taken, procured.
I asked very nicely for Miss Rachel to unlock.
What? Oh, were you talking about me?
Yes, I was saying that I got you to open up the shed so we could get these, and I think we now have to figure out how to water flowers. I'm sure that my siblings inside are dealing with that right now. But thank you so much, Ms. Rachel. I'll be back to visit you when Snickers does hammer training.
Let's find out if your siblings inside are doing that. Camera pan to the inside of the inn. Nikki, do you want to take it from here?
Sure.
Tell us what's in the inside is like.
Oh, the inside is just as pretty. There are like lots of long tables for communal sitting, and they're covered in checkered tablecloths, and there are flowers on every part of the tables. And then there's like in the back, like, a normal bar top that you see in a tavern, but like it's got these beautiful tiles on it. Like they definitely spent a lot of work making this like the prettiest inn ever. It's so gorgeous. And behind the counter is a rather small orc. Um, Probably a little taller than tall, but he's just, cleaning glasses, normal tavern keeper stuff.
Can we also say that before we move any further, I think Digo probably gets the focus here for helping his sister. So Digo has the focus on the outside. Just knock that off the list.
There are a few patrons in here, mostly all orcs. There's a couple of humans, but there's nothing. They're just sitting, talking, eating. Uneventful.
Go ask for a glass of water to start watering the plants at the counter.
Do you want a small glass or a big glass?
As big as you think I can carry.
Oh, you're really thirsty. And
Yeah.
you're Snock and Mina's child, aren't you?
How did you know?
Wild guess.
Does actually know Mom and Dad, huh?
Tell you a secret, everybody knows your mom and dad.
Yeah. Good. Including you.
Yes. I hand over the giant glass of water. For such a smaller orc, he has gigantic hands, and it's
Wait.
like a big pitcher. Yeah.
It's perfect. I grab it with like
Perfect.
both hands, like prepped and like braced, and like go
Perfect.
out and I kind of like do the toddler walk thing again. So
I
probably
really
want
want to see you try to drink and have to make a roll.
Well,
Two
I'm not
hands,
gonna.
Ladia.
I'm not. Wait. I have to. Do you want me to drink water while I roll?
Multitask.
I mean,
You
I'm gonna
can if you
spill on
want
myself,
to. I'm
probably.
more interested in seeing Snicker have water
Oh.
drench her all over herself when she tries to drink from this giant cup.
Well, I'm not trying to drink it. I'm thinking I was told that we need to water the plants, so I'm gonna go water the plants with a big cup of water, and hopefully it's enough for the entire garden.
Tavern keeper just watches you keep walking and is like, "Those are some weird children."
And so you stumble back outside. Do you go to the front of the tavern or the back?
I think the back.
Okay, you go to the back, and you see Teeny and Digo there, between them carrying a big pair of like tree grade pruning shears.
Got like a wood handy trying to handle.
And then you see just like a whole yard of flowers.
Go water!
You got like this glass, you go over and you like pour it out, and the whole thing goes out in an instant, and you think like if you have to keep doing this, you'll have to do this maybe like 1,000 more times.
Give me the biggest glass of water that I guess that I can hold.
I think that's where we're gonna take our break. Just as we have this thing. So you have the pruning shears, you have Barry's hammer, but you still don't have a decorative sword, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the one thing that's still eluding you. And so we'll throw more complications at you until we have a plot. Once we come back, we're gonna take a quick bio break and drink refilling break and things like that. So come back for more goblin shenanigans in 15 minutes, and we'll see you then.
Everybody drink water!
Yes, biggest one.
Welcome back, everyone, to Goblin Errands. We are with the Snina family. We have adapted what second used? No, not used. Previous TTRPG characters, Snock, my Goblin Barbarian, and Mina, the Shuni
Yeah.
Druid, and gave them children. So they are some sort of Shublin hybrid, and they are out in the orc settlement. Of the Flower Picker clan, trying to do errands in exchange for the things they need for the big flower festival tomorrow. And so far, what do we have, children? We have a big set of oversized pruning shears that takes two of you to carry around. We have a hammer that
Barry's hammer.
that your
most-
brother Digo pickpocketed off of an orc guard named Barry.
The most beautiful
And
hammer in
It's
existence.
good hammer.
Right. And the third thing that your parents have tasked you to get is this decorative sword. And there's supposed to be one here at the bar. I don't know if have we seen it yet? I don't remember that. I don't think
No,
we have.
Philomena just said that Edward
Edward the bartender. Yeah.
was. No, Edward wasn't the bartender. The bartender is just by him on his own.
Oh, okay. Edward's
Edward-
the simple fighter.
Edward
That
is the
guy.
simple fighter, and she just
Mhm.
kind of motioned into the end that he was in there,
Yes.
and also said, "Don't talk to him because he has a stick up his."
Something. He has a stick somewhere.
He has a
Somewhere
stick
that she
some-
wouldn't tell the
It's
kids.
apparently a fancy stick somewhere where she wouldn't tell the kids.
Right, exactly. But for the time being, also we want to give a shout out to Shark Bomb Studios, the makers of the
Yes.
game, who are hanging out in chat, and they're doing a game jam this month around Goblin Errands over on itch.io, and we put the link in chat. So everybody who's watching, feel free to stop by and thank them for this awesome game that we have
Yes.
twisted to our own ends. So who has the focus at the moment? I believe that Digo has it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Digo had it.
Ego has it outside.
Digo, you're outside with Teeny, and you just saw your sister Snicker come out and empty one human-sized glass of water onto this garden. It does not seem sufficient to water this whole place. What happens next in the backyard, the garden of this tavern?
That's not enough water. We need more.
Biggest cup they give me.
What if we hide the shears and we all get cups of water?
We try that. Did we tell them what water for?
Think she thought I wanted to drink it, but no, I brought it out here. Really sneaky.
I has idea.
Sneaking some
Maybe-
water.
We get more water, and then we bring it out. Maybe we trick them into helping us, because they are big, like tall.
Still count as us doing the errand and give us the sword.
What if we ask
Yes.
Mom?
But can we hide shares camera first?
Yes. You're so good at hiding, Digo.
He's already like as soon as you said yes, he started trying to put the
But,
camera and shears out of sight.
Would your friend Rachel help us put them away so we don't have to carry it the entire time?
I don't think Rachel can actually do that. Rachel could just kind of lock and unlock the door. She is a really nice lock, and I'm gonna come visit her more. But she doesn't have hands like we do.
But
And
could we put it in the place where Rachel is locking people away from, like other people other than us?
I don't have a lot of magic. Just a little bitty magic.
magic.
And I might have already used some of that for the day.
Only one
Just
way to
a
find
little
out.
bit, just a little bit.
I don't have another focus.
That's yeah. Well, maybe it's still in effect. You don't know.
I
I mean, you just talked to Rachel the Lock.
I
Still
can
working?
see if she lock for me. I just don't know if I can ask her to lock and unlock and then lock again and then unlock. That's a lot to ask someone just to be, and that's. I feel like that'd be like using her a little bit, And
Just to make this more complicated, when you look back at the tool shed, the giant floating yellow question mark is giant floating exclamation point is now a question mark.
that's weird. That was one of those exciting things that moms use all the time, and now it's a questiony thing that sometimes I have to use.
Yeah, it was straight.
None of the rest
Now
of you
it's
see
perfect.
this.
Okay, that makes more sense. I'm okay with
Yeah,
it.
Okay.
About this time, Digo comes back from having dragged off the, with
Mhm.
much effort, dragged off the clippers, the shears.
Where did he put them?
hidden them. He found either the tallest grass or the closest crate to just kind of.
There's plenty of flower beds that are big enough that you could just put them in a flower bed and they would hide there like Untitled Goose Game.
Exactly. That's what he
That's
would try and
game.
do as best he could, and
Right.
similar with the hammer, because he doesn't want Mina to see
Okay.
them if she is called.
You find
he's not
one
ready for that.
particularly lush and full part of the garden where you could stow these things away.
And he comes back, and I would like to use unlikely knowledge, my unlikely knowledge
Okay.
feat, to see if I can understand or figure out how they water their flowers, so that we could just do it that same way that the
Ooh,
big
okay.
plants do. And so I'm going to spend the focus to do that.
Okay, can you read it for me?
I spend the focus to introduce an unexpected fact that adds to the story. Is not what I thought. This might actually not be what I was thinking it was. But the rest of it is to facts that add to the story and explain the consequences.
Hey, twist this in a way that it works, and we'll let it happen.
You choose how you water the flowers.
Yes,
Tell-
you
yeah,
have a
tell us
fact,
you
and that
know
fact is we
exactly
like to
their
water
schedule.
flowers here.
So, Digo knows that big people, they use really, really big cups.
Yes,
Like,
sometimes.
not like the cup that they gave his sister, but cups that you can't really. They're so big they put them on top of buildings.
Unbelievably big cups. House cups.
And they just have to drain really long straws down from them, and then they just spray people with it. And sometimes flowers,
Yes.
because the flowers like that, and sometimes Digo, because Digo likes that.
Digo
That
looks
sounds
around.
made up.
Digo's telling you all this, and Digo, as you all sort of look around, you see that there is, at one end of the garden, there's a tall wooden fence. And then on the other side is some sort of other business, which makes a lot of noise. You hear a lot of clanging and bumping and things like that. And like there's a big wheel that turns around and stuff. And then up on the roof of this building, or the hat of the building, as your father calls it, on that building's hat is a big cup. Like, this cup is bigger than the house that you live in, and it has kind of like a tube coming out of it into the yard next door, but you don't see where it goes.
See, like that one up there.
Does exist.
They do exist.
I was gonna say that.
You mean that whole thing is just filled with water?
Yeah, it's gotta be, right? What
Wow.
else
What
could
else
be
would
in
it be
there?
filled? Yeah.
Diga, roll me an eyes check here.
5.
Okay, so one success. You see that that fence does have a goblin height hole in it where you could look through and see what's in the other yard.
So Digo's gonna point that out and say, "Let's go look." And just as he points, he's pointing at it while he's moving towards it.
You run up to that fence and you look through, and on the other side you see something strange. There are people here moving around, but they're not orcs, and they're not goblins, and they're not shoonies. They have sort of pale pink or brown skin, kind of like you've seen humans have, but they're goblin sized. They're like as tall as you guys usually are. They're tall. They're shorter than your brother tall. But they are like building and constructing kind of machine things. and hammering things together. And there's a big, hot-looking oven type thing, and that pipe is going to that oven, and it looks like they're making machine parts. And when they're done, they'll pull a little lever on this pipe, and something like water comes out of it and cools off the metal that they're working with. You think these are gnomes, and apparently they have some sort of a workshop here or something.
Oh my gosh, they took their fur.
And I do want to point out that there's one hole, so you guys are probably taking turns looking through the hole.
So are we familiar with gnomes?
Yeah, we could say that. Well, even if you haven't met gnomes before in person, I would say that from the tales that you've heard from your mom and dad of adventures, they've described gnomes and other species of creatures before.
We've definitely adventured with many different kinds of peoples.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a weird color. Like, it's not. And he steps out of the way. Says, "Look, I never seen someone that color that small. Not what I expected from how
Pardon me, who's talking over there?
Hi.
One of them comes and he says,
Oh, hi there.
"What? Are you?
Well, gosh, I thought you were goblins. Are you goblins?
Kinda.
Lynn, on my dad's side.
Oh, okay. What are you doing? Why are you looking through the hole? What's happening on this side of the fence?
Well, we saw your.
Apologies. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Fizzywig Bumblefuck. I'm a craftsman. I make machines over here.
Bumblefuck, do you know Snock, my dad? Everyone
You
knows
Snock?
him.
You mean Snox Nina?
Yeah. What other Snock is there?
Oh, I guess I had. Hey guys, have you heard of any other people named Snock?
No,
and all these
it's-
other names like, "Ah, ah."
It's not just as long as you know the Snox Nina. That's the one I'm asking about.
Oh, yeah, that's I know him.
That's my dad. He
Oh.
wants us to do errands, and we're curious because you're also doing errands.
Yes, well, we're kind of doing errands. We call it work, but here, why don't you come around through the front, and I'll show you around.
And points to like the front of the shop that you can look around. And that gives us a chance to go back inside because I want to figure out what Tall is doing inside. As you guys take the long walk around the front side of the building to go next door in the backyard.
They got teeny tiny little feet.
So, Nikki, Craig, what is Tall up to out there in there?
What
The
is
tallest
tall?
one of the goblin children.
What is tall up to?
I want to look for a person who has that sword that I was told to get. That's objective number 1.
Okay. When you're looking around, you see that there is a gentleman, a human man, sitting by himself at the end of one of these communal tables. And he's got like a plate in front of him and a big jar, and he's wearing like fancy armor, and on his back is this giant, gorgeous gold and crystal encrusted sword. It is beautiful. It also doesn't look like it's ever seen a fight in its life. Like, it is just pristine. The man looks not too happy. He's got a very gruff face. Just kind of looks like a grump. Kind of see why Philomeno was like about him. Yeah, he's just sitting there staring at his food. He's not really eating, just kind of looking angry at the world.
All right, can I pull up a chair next to him?
Sure.
I'd like to pull up a chair and sit down. Hello, my name is Tall. I'm a
You
goblin.
certainly are a goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Or Shublin. My parents.
Shublin.
My origins are of
Oh.
questionable origins.
Oh, you're a Snina kid. Okay, that makes sense. He goes back to just staring at his food.
So listen, there's this festival coming up. Not sure if you've heard about it or not, but we were told that we have to grab this beautiful decoration sword that has to be put on display for a short period of time. And I just couldn't help but notice your sword was so magnificent, and I would want to request upon you the honor of having your sword on display for a couple days. It would be returned right back to you, of course, but would you gladly accept this offer?
He thinks for a minute. I would have you roll mouth? Should it be mouth or heart? Because that was a very heartfelt.
I say mouth. He's got a good
Yeah,
mouth.
I'm
You
gonna say.
call's mouthy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say mouth because doesn't seem so much like Edward here is very
Okay.
emotional.
2 sixes, 2 1s, and a 2.
You got 2 successes, so you are definitely successful. Um, he kind of looks at you out of the corner of his eye. Normally, wouldn't let anybody else touch this sword. Can you promise me that if I lend it just for this flower festival,
Mm-hmm.
that nobody will touch it?
Of course, on the Church of the Tolians, I can swear it. In fact, are you yourself a Tolian? Have you ever heard the rebirth of the Tallman, the true god?
Edward leans forward. I have heard such tales. What do you know?
Really? I had thought not. It's not a story that orcs would tell you. It's a Shublin legend. Tallman was the creator and a god so powerful and so wise that he could use his force to influence the world and control other beings and settings. He had such a knowledge of all, he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. The light side of the Talion is a pathway to many abilities that some consider to be unnatural. But one day,
Oh.
he became so powerful, he was afraid of losing his power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his followers everything he knew. Then, they killed him in his sleep. Ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself. The followers were slowly killed off due to the strange powers they possess. However, I believe he has rebirthed, and he has come and blessed us once more.
Why do you believe that? What
Do not
form
look
has he
upon
taken
me.
now?
It is the form of a Shublin. It is myself. I have rebirthed. Join me.
Oh. Oh. You know, you had me up till that point.
I
will
know,
say.
I know. It seems crazy, but I believe I have his power. I mean, look, a mere goblin at this tall of a length. It's destiny. Almost I mean, I've talked to him. I've talked to the tall man within me. I use dice to communicate to him.
Dice.
Yes,
Dice.
I roll and he tells me things. If I roll high enough.
That's pretty. I do like dice games. You know, I've been sitting here and I have been so angry at the world because I am a paladin, and yet I no longer have anybody to fight for.
Will you
But I
join me?
like your tall man.
Will you
I
convert to
think,
Talianism?
son, I will follow you.
I hand him a copy of the book, I can't read it, so I don't know what it says, but on the cover it says Game Master's Guide. And I pass it over.
Game Master's Guide. Is this Game Master the tall man? Is this you?
It is his words, his legends written down from an ancient time of 3rd edition, whatever that means.
I will learn this, and I will carry your word forward. Thank you,
Thank
tall
you.
Snina, for giving me purpose again. Um, how about I drop the sword off where you need it? That way nobody else can touch it.
Very well.
You may touch it. I trust in you. Do not let your father touch this.
I understand, my paladin.
Thank you. And he gets up. He's like, I will go drop this off at. Should I drop it off with your mother? I trust your mother.
My mother would know what to do with it.
All right. I shall go give this to your mother. And thank you. He gives
you.
you a low bow and then leaves. You now have your first convert.
Yes.
I love it. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Super Friends, outside, the other three siblings are surrounded by gnomes in overalls and work gloves, and they have goggles. Of course, they have goggles. Like half of them are wearing goggles, and they're all standing around, and they're kind of like marveling at the three of you, and they say, "Well, we use this place here primarily. We're constructing a new. Well, it's kind of a secret thing. I'm not supposed to tell anyone about that, but it's kind of a private. So,
Is it a whole secret thing?
uh, I don't know, Jerry. Is that a cool secret?" And like one of the other goblins, like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." He goes, "Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool."
I'm so good with secrets, especially if it's a cool secret. Can you please,
Oh, I
please,
don't
please,
know.
please,
Roll
please,
me a
please?
mouth. Roll me a mouth check.
Okay. 5.
Okay, you got a 5. Oh, you're
No,
rolling
that's
5.
a 6, a 3, a 1, a 3, and a 1.
Well, you got the 6, and
Please,
with that
please,
6, he
please.
goes, "Well, I mean, you are our target demographic. So here, I'll get out the prototype." And they open this big like garage type door of the building, and out on a cart with wheels, they pull out what appears to be a step ladder, but it has all of these parts like on the inside of it that are like wheels and gears and other stuff. And he goes, "Yeah, let's show. Okay, everyone, stand back, children. Children, it's not safe for you here." And he like sort of like holds up his hands like this, make space. And he goes, "Okay, here we go. All right, come on, Fizzywig, here we go." And he flips a switch, and the gears start spinning, and all of a sudden the step ladder just like extends automatically and gets super tall. And it's so tall that a goblin at the top of it could reach that water pipe and swing it over into the other yard so the water sprays over all the flowers in the backyard. It says, "We call it the extendo ladder." And we figured that the market here is so good for height assistance devices that we might be able to make some money selling it to the shorter community or the vertically challenged.
You were gonna keep this a secret from us?
Well, I mean, we don't want anybody else hearing about it because we don't want anyone copying our design, and
But it's so cool. It's so cool. Do you like need people to help test it or something? Because that's really
oh
tough.
my god, well, I mean, yeah, give it a shot. I mean, go ahead, knock yourself out. We're not liable if there's an accident. In case of injury or death, the men of Bumblefuck's machinery are not held responsible.
Yeah, she would just go like climb up it.
Okay. I just sort of
I
climb
don't know
up.
what any of those words are.
And at the top, we'll say that you get up there, and at first you're like, oh, like you can see a bird. There, there is like a light breeze, and then down below, Snicker and Digo, you hear this, and one of the pieces on the inside flies off, and smoke starts coming out of it.
Can I say that while she's up there, you
Mhm.
look down and behind the shed, you can see your parents. And
Yes.
they're like,
I think Mina's back there. I think Snock is inside wearing a trench coat.
Guys,
Watching
I'm
tall.
so tall. I'm taller than tall. Hi, I can see mom. Hi, mommy. Hi, hi.
baby.
What do what do Digo and Snicker do when this thing starts malfunctioning?
Recognizing a
Also,
malfunction. Yeah.
we'll say that the focus went to one of you, if one of you can use it.
I got it. I was gonna give it to Snicker.
Okay.
I think I was the last one that had it.
Oh no, that means it's on me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I look at Digo and I look really frantic, and I I just look very wide-eyed, and I'm like, that's taller than any goblin's ever been ever, I think, in their entire lives ever. Like birds can't even, like, birds are literally birds. Oh, okay. And then
I see a pelican.
so
You do
she
see a pelican.
starts making like chirping bird sounds because
Okay.
she wants to use her advanced feat now that she has the focus, squeak speak,
Oh.
where you can spend the focus to use grunts and chirps to speak to an animal. The TP, the tall person, may require a mouth roll to convince them to assist you with something dangerous or otherwise, or without a clear reward.
Okay. So yes indeed, a pelican flies by.
Okay.
So Lonnie, please make me a pelican noise.
Oh no, I keep thinking seagull.
I don't think
No,
it's
that's what-
too far off from a seagull.
That's what pelicans sound like.
Okay.
Now.
So I'm just like, ah.
Uh-huh. And a pelican flying like looks at you. What are you telling this pelican?
In squeak speak. So Digo is just hearing a bunch of that same thing that I just made a few seconds ago over and over again. But basically like asking them to look over my tall friend up there.
Oh yeah. This pelican looks over, and at that point, I think it's the moment that Teeny realizes that like the ladder is starting to sway back and forth, and like start to like almost like hop around a little bit, like a bucking bronco.
Is this supposed to be doing this?
Is it, I don't know, Jerry, is this supposed to be doing this? No, it's not supposed to be doing it.
And I need a mouth roll for that squeak speak attempt from Snicker.
Cool. All right, let's hope. Ooh, there's 2 1s in there, but there's a 6. There is a 6, 2 1s, and a 3. So there's still 1
Okay.
success.
All right. Well, with that 6 there, the pelican swoops down, and just as the ladder starts to give way, scoops Teeny up in its pelican mouth, but it can't stay aloft for too long, and then it sort of like
Doing the
sways
thing where I
back
have my
and forth.
arms out, like trying to like catch
Mhm.
wherever it might fall, just in case.
What is Digo doing at that point?
Digo's still got his mind set on that straw coming out of that giant cup.
Okay. Yeah.
And does he see like a ladder or anything to get up there?
Well, the one that your sister's on. And they're close, but it looks like the pelican is descending rapidly right toward that that spout, that straw.
I'm flying.
The inside of the mouth of a pelican.
Mm-hmm.
Is it at least holding the mouth open so like she can see out?
She's sticking out of it. Yeah, it's adorable.
I was afraid that Digo was gonna be like, oh my god, a pelican just ate my sister.
Digo, what do you do? It could be as simple as yelling at your sister something. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I think that's. He's gonna point at this thing and there's. Move the straw! Move the straw! And then he pull out some of his homemade fireworks and toss them into the closest forge.
Yes, excellent.
As a
There,
distraction?
yes. There is this big distraction. Tell me what you want for throwing fireworks. Hands, maybe?
I was thinking.
Yeah, hands would be great.
2 5s.
2 5s. The goblins all turn and say,
Oh no, fireworks inside the forge. This is terrible.
and they all like shuffle over in that direction. Meanwhile, Teeny, do you want to try and jump for this spout, for this this pipe?
I guess. Otherwise, I'm going on a trip.
Hey, what kind of roll do you think we need here? Legs, maybe. What are you thinking?
I am horrible with legs. Could I potentially say this is eyes by trying to pinpoint where I need to land?
You sure can.
Yeah, because
argument.
eyes are at least a 3. That's 3 5s.
3
Nice.
5s. You time it precisely. You size it up. You see like circles and numbers. They don't mean anything. But you leap and you jump and you grab onto the pipe and the pipe starts swaying back and forth until it swings around and hangs over the other garden and all this water comes shooting out over all of the flowers. And it looks like a big rainstorm back there now.
Mina
You're still on the
unintentionally
pipe.
gets wet now.
I want to grab a Snicker's hand and run for the fence. If we can see the hole.
Okay. All right. So you take Snicker's hand and you go back to the other side. Is that what you said?
Yeah, we want to make ourselves scarce.
The goblins are still just talking. They're just like,
Oh, well, it's 'cause you can see obviously that one's a Roman candle. That one's some kind of explosive device.
they're just like all business, right? And they don't even realize that the pipe has been moved. But you get over to the other side just as Tina starts to lose her grip on the pipe. And what do you do in that case?
I'm gonna look for Tall.
Yeah, you don't see Tall. Tall must still be inside somewhere. Maybe you can see him through a window. Roll me an eyes check to see if you can spot him.
1 5.
Okay. Yeah, you spot Tall inside, and you know that only a big person such as Tall, or maybe your mom, would be able to catch Tina without somebody getting a big bump. So, which direction do you go? You also have seen your mom, because Tina pointed her out from atop the ladder.
So, Digo's gonna take a moment, and just a moment of panic. So what do we do? What do we?
Excellent, thank you.
Mina comes racing out. What is it? What is it? Oh.
So,
And
yeah.
I was just, Mina starts just druid crafting, and a bunch of vines start coming up out of the ground and growing into like a little net to catch her baby.
And down Teeny comes.
And then like a bassinet, you come down.
I'm gonna
do-
unironically say, "Oh my god, you used magic!" And not trying to call Dad, but
Right. What? A voice from inside the tavern. What?
It's fine, dear. I have it. It's fine. What are you doing in there?
I mean, magic is fine. I'm not Snack.
Mom, Well, that was so cool. I got really high up, and you saw me, and then a
I saw
bird
you.
ate me, and then
I
I
saw.
jumped, and then I landed
It's just
on that, and
Ego
then you
just
rescued me.
slams into you.
You are
Meanwhile,
you are
sorry,
so
I'm sorry,
brave.
I'm sorry,
I'm
I'm
so
sorry.
proud of you. You
That was
are.
fun.
Please never go up that high again.
But it was fun.
I'm
I do also
very
want to
glad.
mention that the four of you now are soaking wet. Um,
So I'm
Uh,
probably like
Flowers
2'8",
also soaking
maybe.
wet.
Bye, Shark Bomb.
Yep. Mina and Teeny are like suddenly very tiny.
yes, their volume reduces
We
by a
look like
large
little
amount. Their
rats.
fur is yeah. Um, inside, what is Tall doing now that he has secured this sword to be delivered to their house?
He's probably just gonna head back out and regroup with everyone else.
Okay, so this is when Tall emerges, and those of you who are paying attention, probably not many of you are, would see that he's being followed, and somebody else is in the backyard with an oversized trench coat and a ridiculous fedora hat with the collar like pulled up, and is like following him and trying to act like they're smelling flowers, and is just like bending over and smelling all of the flowers.
He
Yeah.
Is it-
enlists 2 other goblins inside the trench coat.
No, it's just him.
But it's a normal.
And it's a human-sized
human-sized-
trench coat. Yeah. He misunderstood the idiom. He doesn't get the trope of goblins in
Yes.
trench coat.
Like,
Yes.
Yes. Snock deer.
Huh? What? My name is Carol.
Okay, Carol. You're getting your coat all wet, dear. Carol.
Oh, thank you, beautiful dog lady. What nice children you have.
They're the best children.
I have to go.
And he like runs away and trips over the coat and like falls down and comes out, and it's obviously Snock, and he just keeps running.
Father,
Oh,
are you
your
okay?
father.
He doesn't have good stealth scores.
All right,
So-
well, if y'all are good, I have to go.
Mina just
She's backing up and she slowly
Can
disappears
you drive
behind
me
the
off
shed.
first, Mom?
Oh, right. She prestidigitation. Everybody. So you're all
Yay.
clean now.
Ooh, for better or worse, you're all clean.
Yep.
Immediately rolls in awareness.
Yep.
Water.
Hmm.
Gross
One
water.
question is, are all of the plants also wet?
They appear to all be watered, yes. So now you can go inside and get the sword that your brother already got.
We all turn around and like, okay, one more, let's go.
One more what?
We have the the shears and
Okay.
the hammer, and we
Okay.
just need the really fancy pretty sword.
I already did that. You guys got the shoes?
What?
Awesome.
But we can totally use your help.
Wait,
Already
you
got
already
Come over
got
here.
the- Where
Yeah.
did you go?
With the help of the great divine one, the tall man, I have acquired a sword that shall be used for the festival. Rejoice, for we are saved.
Yay!
Okay.
So, with all of your boxes checked, you return to the Ken. You make your way back without incident, and when you arrive, you see that all around your house there's a big crowd gathered, and it appears to be a mix of Shunies and goblins. But at the front of this crowd, speaking at a very high volume, is a person you know to be named Muckus Shardrunner, who is the leader of the Ken. He is a goblin, and he is he wears a top hat
Now we know he's
because
the
that's how you
goblin.
know he's in charge. And he is like,
I think that everyone should be allowed to touch the sword. And it's not fair for the Sninas to keep it on this for display only.
And you see that Mina, apparently, who received the sword delivery, has made a little red velvet rope, and behind it, like the sword is hung on the wall, and there's a little plaque that says "Pretty sword, on display for Flower Festival Day." And you realize now that Mina, like maybe just wants it there as sort of like a think piece, just for people to talk about while they celebrate and stuff. But everyone is like very upset that nobody is allowed to touch it, and so they're all standing around looking angry.
There's also like a wall of thorns
Mhm.
with
There
the
you go.
red thing, so that nobody can touch it because she doesn't trust anybody.
And these other goblins, the other members of the Ken and Muckus, are all standing there. You see Ginzo, the Mushroom Maven, second most popular goblin in the Ken, and everyone else, they're standing around being like,
You need to let everybody touch it. You want a place for goblins and shunies. We should all be allowed to touch the sword.
and then you see that your father Snock is there too, going,
Yes, we should all be allowed to touch the sword.
No, it is not our sword. We cannot touch it. It is just here to look pretty. Snock, you have to lead the way. You tell them not to touch it.
But that's so pretty.
It is so pretty, and you see with your eyes. You don't need to see with your hands.
all the half of the goblins go, yes, we do see with our eyes, and the other half go, what? all the Shunies are like, okay, great.
Does the top hat wearing one have anything shiny on him?
He has a monocle that is very shiny. And
Anything besides the monocle? Seems
roll me an
take.
eyes check.
Single six.
Okay. Yeah, he also has a chain wallet, like he's from Hot Topic in the 90s.
I would like to take his chain wallet.
Well, good luck. It's on a chain, but yeah, you can absolutely try.
I'm not gonna go far with it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You just gotta get the chain off. That's all.
That's
You are
right.
your father's
Roll me
child.
that hands
Have-
check.
Having had those, they're not all that hard to get off.
Feel his pants.
Oh. Highest is a 4.
Well,
Okay. With a complication, you do get the chain wallet, but it is tied to his belt loop. And so as you walk away with it and pull it away, his pants fall down around his ankles.
So I wasn't planning on going too far. I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to.
What are you going to do with it?
Teach him something that Mina taught me. Mommy taught me about.
All right.
And I say to him, and I said, "Sir, is this yours? Is it okay if I touch it?"
That's my wallet, young man. No,
But
you
it's
can't touch something that doesn't belong to you.
I know. And so that sword does not belong to. And he hands the wallet back as he says, "The sword not belong to you."
Oh, he has defeated me with logic.
And
Oh.
You're
Mina
so
always
proud.
says, "No touch things that aren't yours without asking." And if they say no, you have to listen, or else bad
He,
things will
he makes a
happen.
thinking pose. And he sort of like puts one hand under his chin. He's like,
All right. Yes, you make a good point. Everyone, the sword is just for looking, for celebration, for flower festival.
and everyone goes,
Okay.
except for Snock, who is currently trying to crawl underneath the wall of thorns and get to the sword.
Daddy, Daddy, do you want to see the hammer? The hammer
What?
is pretty.
Oh, you got the hammer?
Yeah. Show Daddy the hammer,
Uh-uh.
Dad.
I want to, but I am stuck on your mother's thorns. Does anyone have a way to get me out?
probably go
Can
away.
someone help me with the other side of the shears?
I could help.
I'm holding one part of it.
Just all the way up here.
One of us
Yes.
jumps on them.
You're like a bellows, like. Yep. And you cut Snock free, and he sort of like shovels out. He says,
Don't tell your mom about this, okay? You just keep it
Hey,
between us.
she's right there, Dad.
Knock, I'm right here, dear.
Shh, Mina, shh. I'm parenting right now.
Good job. You're so good at parenting.
Yes, thank you. So is you. You're a great mom.
Thank you.
All right. It is time for the opening ceremonies of the first ever Fungi Goblin Can Flower Festival.
and he leads everyone
Yay!
over to a big platform, a dais, type of thing. And up there is a long. It's not really that attractive, but it's just a long rope. And he says,
Bring forward the ceremonial pruning shears.
you bring it's crowd surf it over there, and he says,
This year the honor of cutting the rope will be given to my favorite child.
Ego step.
and then he doesn't say anything for a long time, and he says,
Tall,
Ego slings back.
come forward.
You know, like hisses at him
Father,
from
I
the
believe
front.
you have said the wrong child's name.
I was gonna say, I feel like all of us are gonna step forward, having once or twice been called your favorite child. So all of
yeah,
us are
absolutely, it happens all the time.
like, oh.
Tall.
God, you
Yeah,
stand
And
up.
he like drags Snock's very strong. He's a barbarian, so he like picks up the shears, and he hands them to you, and he says,
Tall, you are the only one big enough to use these. Go ahead.
Oh. Yes, Father. And then I sheepishly
mm-hmm.
cut it.
You cut the rope and it falls apart, and he says,
All right. And now, to ring the ceremonial flower bell.
and he like drops this big curtain, and there's a big bell there, and he says,
Bring forward the hammer.
Go Snickers.
Mina watches him, and she's like, "Wait, I know that hammer."
Diego gives it to Snickers.
Mhm. And
You know,
who wants to do
Everybody,
the
you're
hammering?
not allowed to know all the hammers too.
Everybody argues for a little bit, but eventually all of the goblin children, the Sninas, all work together to ring the opening bell. And then I think
Philomena is in
yes.
the audience and totally
Mhm.
sees Snicker with the hammer, and it's just like, my next protege.
Let's do some closing scenes of the flower festival and things that happen within the can. I'd like to start if I can, and then we'll go around and we'll do one for each person. Just sort of an ending montage before we go. I think Snock at some point takes the time to pull Tall aside and ask him questions about his tall god. And just to express interest in what Tall is into and grow closer as a father and child. So we see them sitting and talking, and like maybe it's like no sound, but like Tall has the like his pamphlets or whatever, and Snock is like looking at them and nodding, and then looks up at Tall and like nods and gives a smile. Okay, all right, the GM. Okay, right. Mina, do you have an idea for a closing scene for Mina?
Sure. Mina has gone around and given hugs and kisses to all her kids, and independently has told them that she's so proud of them, of everything they do. And then she backs away a little, and a familiar paladin form kind of crouches next to her, and she passes him a little something before he gets up and leaves.
Slips him up, just greases his palm a little bit
Yeah.
with a sword.
Well, no, she's more like Thanks for making my kid feel good.
Oh, that's nice. Alice, what about Teeny?
Teeny has like reconvened with the gnomes.
Yeah, all the gnomes came to the
Yes.
festival. They all came over.
And they have like put a pair of goggles on top of her head, and she's trying to make the ladder work even cooler, and it can bounce around now, much to
I love it.
her mom's happiness, I'm sure.
Excellent. Snicker. What is Snicker doing during the festival?
I will make sure that I get permission from Digo first, because I know Digo is the one that actually got the hammer. But just say, is it okay if I use this? Can I just try to do the hammer contest just to see?
Digo is Digo's like,
Sure.
she's very distracted by the paladin.
I love it.
She'll
Do we-
kind of just like take that as her advantage and sneak away with it, and then compete in the hammer contest. But then also, when
Yes.
Barry realizes that Barry Barry probably
can't find his
couldn't
hammer.
his hammer, so then
Yeah.
I offer after I compete, very clearly after I compete, not
Mhm.
before. I'll offer it to him and say like, "Oh, you can use mine if you want."
I would like a hands roll from you
Oh no.
to see where you place
Uh-huh.
in the hammer competition.
I have a 1 in hand, so
Yep.
the fact that I pursued this line of anything is got a 6.
Yeah!
She wins.
I believe in you. Mina's in the audience
Mhm.
just cheering you on.
And so we see Snicker and we see Ehe like with like a ribbon. Like Ehe gets to wear the ribbon as a collar. Does Digo do anything else? Do we have another scene for Digo? As long as we're on him.
Digo's preening, like a bird.
Yes.
And he tries to strike up a conversation with the paladin and tell him about all the fun stuff they did today, and offers to braid her ponytail.
A Philomena
And then-
That's a
writer.
heart roll, which
Yeah,
means an automatic
Philomena.
success.
And points out his sister's Snicker for see how good she is just naturally. She should definitely.
Yes.
Yes.
What about Tall? How does Tall spend the flower festival?
Oh, okay. So I want to go up to my mom first because I want to get permission. Okay. Mom, I would like to ask your permission before I go ahead because I wouldn't want to make you mad. Could I convert people to my religion, please?
I hear tell that you already have.
But I mean, like, everyone.
Well, I think you should give them a choice.
Right.
Always up to people, but you can certainly talk to them. I will support you.
Okay. And with that, I would like to, because I have permission, I'd like to grab the fancy sword.
Okay.
And I'd like to find the tallest place I can to project my voice and climb
Yes.
up somewhere and give a little speech.
Mm-hmm. I
Would
think
have
that's
to
a little
roll to, like,
stage.
climb up?
You didn't even have to climb. There's a big like stage where they did the opening.
Okay.
It's like kind of in the
Awesome.
central space and everyone can see it.
Hello, goblins, shooties,
Huh?
Oh, good.
shublins, orcs, humans. We have all been gathered here for one important purpose. It is not for the flower festival, for that has been a giant ruse. And I hold up the
No.
sword. Together, united, we have been gifted this opportunity of life from the Creator himself, the Tall Man. He has been rebirthed, and it is I who will guide you. We, together, shall all form this religion. We, in this peacetime that we all share upon. our doorstep. We shall unite in arms as brothers, no matter our race, religion, our sex, or ethnicity. It does not matter, for we have been blessed by the tall man's presence. Unite with me.
I think a mouth roll here. I think we need a mouth roll to see how this goes over.
All right. Can I use my focus?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Cool.
Guys,
Uh,
I think our
two-
adopted brother is trying to start a cult.
He is not
3
adopted, but I
sixes.
do think he is. You got
Okay.
how many sixes?
2.
3.
Three
sixes?
sixes?
Okay. At least half of the Ken from that point on are at least committed to finding out more about the tall man. And we'll say that whether or not it's performative or not, Snock also always goes to tall man services together with his son, and also like and some of the orcs do, and Jerry the goblin, the second goblin. Or gnome, the second in command gnome, is like, oh, that sounds pretty good. All right, and then like signs on as well.
Mina's like,
Which-
that's my boy.
Freeze frame. And that's the end of Goblin Errands. Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
So, let's put on some going away music. There we go.
So proud of
Thanks
you.
everybody for
kid.
coming by. We want to give a special thanks to Shark Bomb Studios for making this
Yes.
super fun game. This is my second time playing it, and it's just a blast. So if you want a silly fun game, check it out. Also check out the link that was posted in chat for their game jam this month, which is built around Goblin Errands. So maybe we need an official Goblin Shooting expansion for
Yeah.
Goblin Errands.
Yeah.
For porting characters from other TTRPGs into this world, and the SNEDA genetics chart as well.
Mhm.
Yep.
Which I thought was great. Let's go around. I'd like to hear who everyone is one last time, where we can find you online, anything else you want to promote coming up. We will start. Let's start directly below me with Snicker, our little wildling animal speaker goblin child. Lonnie. Hi, Lonnie. Tell us
Hi.
what's going on with you.
Well, right now, what's going on with me after today is Doc and I just always seem to be on stream together at this point because I also will be in a stream on Thursdays, which we have done for quite a while. If you want to catch up, everything is on YouTube. But we are going to be on Thursdays playing Delta Green, which is absolute opposite vibes of this. I go from being a cute little goblin Shublin that talks to ferrets and apparently is very good at hammering things, to very serious Delta Green agent who
Whose hammering skills are yet to be determined.
Yes. Stay tuned. Make sure you follow because eventually we'll
Perhaps
find
too
out.
traumatized to hammer effectively.
Listen, a lot's happening in that game right now, okay? if she has to resort to a hammer instead of one of her guns, she'll do it. She will.
Yeah.
But it's a great change of pace. Also, just thank you to both of you for running this because I know I've already told this to Doc multiple times, but I literally was on the search for a copy of Goblin Errands for so long. So the fact that I finally had a reason to play it is truly an honor, and it was a great time. So thank you. And I'm gonna have to check out that game jam, even though I've never participated in a game jam, but
Me neither.
I'm curious. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you all for a really fun time.
Thanks, Lonnie. Knock.
My name's Craig. I go by Outknocked everywhere online. Tomorrow it'll be my last stream for a couple months because my work has a place where you have to stay for a couple months. It's all
Oh,
on
no.
site, so I won't be able to participate.
Real
in the
life
streams.
errands.
But after the summer, I'll be back and I'll maybe even join a campaign. That should be kind of cool. I was a last minute player, so I am
And
so
you're so
very
tall.
thankful.
We're so
that
glad you
I
got to
was
play.
able to make it, and I had such a great time playing with all of you, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. Thank you so much for
Yay.
having me.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks for being here. Digo.
Again, Brent, Flamenzine in all of the social places that I go. This is the only thing I do in the public circle as far as broadcasting. This is my second one. If I'm ever actually streaming on my channel, it's because I'm bored and I just want to, you know, 'cause
It's all streaming,
it's always broken because I do it so rarely. They make so many updates. It never works right when I do it. So I spend most of any of my streams trying to make it work or not realizing it's not working until somebody posts in my chat that, hey, it's not working.
That's real.
I feel that.
That's a mood.
So, but I do spend a lot of time on Twitch watching other things. So, if you see me around, say hi. I'll do the same. This is a lot of fun. 10 of 10 would definitely do it again. I would look for more brushes next time. Digo did not do enough brush looking. And that's his thing. He loves new brushes, especially shiny ones, so he can give them to Mina.
It is a really great game. It's great for a pickup and quick play, easy to learn, easy to jump right into, which is a lot of fun. It's very different from other games that are so crunchy and rules heavy, which isn't bad either. But I loved it for that reason when I first heard about it. So I'm super glad you got to play, and all of you to play. But we still have another child, Alice, who played Teeny. Hello.
Hi, yes, I am Alice. You can find me everywhere online at Alice Hart. Or if the adult film star has stolen that username on yet another platform, you can find me at Hellion Heart. Let's see. Next, I will be joining Lost Caravan for a 2-shot of Through the Breach. The next 2 Sundays, starting on the 2nd. Other than that, on Thursday nights over at Enchanted Sorcery Productions, I am on their cast to play The End of Love, which is a Dragon Age campaign we're starting up on Thursday nights. I am very much not going to be playing the same character. I'm actually going to be playing a Canary warrior.
Yeah.
That is not
It is different.
small and tiny and happy.
No, it's the opposite of that. It's big.
I'm so excited for that
He is
game.
very big. He is very gruff. He is very hot.
Is his name not Teeny?
No, his name is actually Catacost.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Well, thank you,
Which
Alice.
is also probably stands for not teeny.
All of our children, you were delightful, and thank you for taking me and Nikki's characters that we are obsessed with and giving them a longer lifespan. But Nikki, Mina, my darling Shuni wife, what about you? Do you have anything to plug? Any place we can find you online?
I mean, sure, probably.
Yeah, probably. You can probably.
I do want to say partially everyone can blame Alice for this because she has been in a Snina game before and also
It's true.
really wanted to see us play
Yes.
babies. So it's partly her fault.
Blame me. Blame me for also continuing to ask for this in the future, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm up for it.
Hey, Snina family can return, and even if not everyone here can even make it, who knows how many children they have?
Oh no.
They just
Wasn't
appear.
specified.
They just keep happening.
Just keep coming. Nikki, do you have anything that's going on with you?
Maybe I was gonna play Pathfinder tomorrow, but apparently Hoop hates me, so I'm not gonna be in that. No, they had to change times, and I'm already busy.
Oh.
So I'm sure I will be back in a Pathfinder game because I'm always in a Pathfinder game on Lost Caravan. In fact, I will be next month, but later in the month, so I will be back. Mostly I'm over at Enchanted Sorcery Productions as well in their Heaven's Fire game, which we have a game tonight at 8 p.m. Central. We'll be continuing on Heaven's Fire, our D&D game. I'm super excited about it because things blew up last time and I don't know what's gonna happen. There was some fire. Somebody started a big explosive fire and my character wasn't there to stop it.
Today's a bit of an aftermath episode.
Yep. So
Fun.
she gets to be like, she's also a mama. She's a mama bear in there. She's a big bug bear. She's a mama bear. She takes care of all of her kids. She left her kids for 2 seconds and apparently they started a house on fire. So that is what she's coming back to, and she's gonna be a little upset with her babies.
Gotcha.
Apparently, I have a thing for playing moms.
And
I
dogs.
play them so well.
And I love playing mama characters.
Fantastic.
Otherwise, I don't think I have really anything. You can always find me on socials, either Coyote Witch or the Coyote Witch. Um, I'm not online as much. I start work, so things are kind of crazy with work stuff, which is why I'm not playing as much. But it'll get back to it. Summer's just busy.
Fantastic. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for
Mhm.
joining me. This was Nikki's first time GMing.
It was. So I got to follow Doc's lead, and it was fun getting to come up with
Great.
stuff. I was
Okay.
very
Okay.
happy.
Well, thank you. And I'm Doc. I played Snock, who's not a great dad, but is a
You're
dad.
such a great dad, Doc.
and,
You're the bestest, Dad.
and loves his children in his special way. I'm Doc. I am online as Doc Rimbo. Sometimes it's Doc Rimbo roles in other spaces. I'm here, as Lonnie said, every Thursday, where I am the handler for our Delta Green Impossible Landscapes campaign that's in our third season of surreal horror and weird characters that skis you out. This week was no exception. If you haven't seen this week's episode, go back and meet Charlie, the elevator operator, who's very clingy. Um, Also on Tuesdays, I'm over on my friend Jay Britton's channel. That's JayBritton, where we're playing Call of Cthulhu Dark Ages. That is a campaign where we're on episode 8 next week. It's myself, it's Jay, it's his partner Amelia Tyler. Amelia was the narrator for Baldur's Gate, and she's Hecate in Hades 2 that's out right now. And then our friends Susie and Tom and Lindy and Kate are all there too, and that's just a crazy fun campaign. So come by and see that. Next month here on Lost Caravan, I am running a 2-shot of Eat the Reich, the new game from Rowan Rook and Deckard, where you are vampires tasked with ending the Second World War by drinking all of Hitler's blood and killing as many Nazis as possible. That will be super fun, and I can't wait for that. That's at the end of June. That's all from me. I mean, I have my own channel too. You can come see me there, Doc Rimbo. And you can always stick around here at Lost Caravan for all the cool stuff that we've got coming up here and join our Discord and stuff like that. For now, stay there. We are going to be doing a raid to Live from the Apocalypse. So stay planted in your seat and send them greetings from the Sninas. And until next time, we will see you soon. Bye.